Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We got a Second Amendment victory thanks to Firearms Policy Coalition's case suing New Jersey about their justifiable need requirement for their firearms concealed carry permit process. And we got this win because of the Bruen decision. Yes, I think it's pretty cool, so let's talk about it because this can happen, should happen, anywhere they still have one of these requirements. First, I want to thank the sponsor of the video. That's the Sonoran Desert Institute. With more than 350 million firearms in the U.S., the time has never been better to learn how to be a gunsmith. SDI offers online firearms technology education with hands-on labs and materials shipped right to your door. There's a ton of different topics to choose from armorers courses to shooting sports management, ballistics, gunsmithing, even drone classes. There's a whole bunch on there. You can check them out at sdi.edu/GNG and turn your passion for firearms into a successful career. Check them out today, thanks to SDI. Also, my birthday's coming up in 2 weeks. I'd like to see how close we can come to 725,000 subscribers. I know it's a big ask. Let's see what we can do, because 725 is my birthday, July 25th. And appreciate y'all. All right, so Firearms Policy Coalition filed this case back in 2021, challenging the justifiable need requirement that New Jersey had for its firearms permit process. And yesterday they came to this consent decree because Bruen, right? Because text, history, tradition. And there is no text in the Second Amendment that says people need to have a justifiable need to defend themselves. There's no justifiable need requirement in any historical analog. So let me show you what came down in court yesterday. The case is known as Francisco v. Cook, but the plaintiffs are Daniel Francisco, Ori Katzen, and Firearms Policy Coalition versus Peter Cook Jr., who is the chief of police of Englishtown Borough Police Department, William Wicker, who is the chief of police of the Oradell Borough Police Department, Matthew Platkin, who is the attorney general in New Jersey, Patrick Callahan, who is the New Jersey State Police Superintendent, Lourdes Lucas, who is a judge in Mammoth County Superior Court, and Christopher Kaslow, who is a judge in Bergen County Superior Court. I'll read you the document because it's pretty solid. It says, whereas the above-named plaintiffs commenced this action against the above-named defendants to challenge the constitutionality of the state of New Jersey's justifiable need requirement previously enforced by and through NJSA Section 2C58-4C Charlie and this other one, as a condition to the issuance of permits for the carrying of handguns in public by ordinary, law-abiding citizens of New Jersey, contending that this regulatory scheme violates the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution by preventing law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms in public for self-defense. Pretty straightforward. Whereas on June 23, 2022, the Supreme Court issued its opinion in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, Inc. versus Bruen, striking down New York's substantially similar proper cause condition to the issuance of handgun carry permits to ordinary law-abiding New Yorkers, holding that this law violates the 14th Amendment by preventing law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms in public for self-defense. Because, 1. When the Second Amendment's plain text covers an individual's conduct, the Constitution presumptively protects that conduct. 2. The burden falls on the government to demonstrate that a regulation is consistent with this nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation. And 3. New York could not carry its burden because it failed to identify any American tradition justifying such a proper cause requirement. And whereas, in light of the Supreme Court's opinion in Bruen, on June 24th of 2022, the New Jersey Attorney General issued a directive announcing that law enforcement agencies shall no longer enforce that requirement of justifiable need to carry a firearm. Whereas, effective December 22nd of 2022, New Jersey formally repealed the justifiable need requirement. Whereas, the parties desiring that this action be settled by appropriate consent decree and without the burden of protracted litigation agreed to the jurisdiction of this court over the parties and the subject matter of this action. Whereas, subject to the court's approval of this consent order, the parties waive a hearing and findings of fact and conclusions of law on all issues and further agree to entry of this order. And whereas the court finding that the fees and costs set forth below are reasonable, and all parties having consented and stipulated to the following relief and dismissal of the action with prejudice and for good cause shown. So this is what the judge agreed to. 1. The court declares that the requirements formally contained in those laws that applicants for handgun carry permits in New Jersey show justifiable need violate the 2nd and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution. 2. This order and final judgment do not apply to any other requirement applicants for handgun carry permits in the state of New Jersey must meet pursuant to those laws or other statutes, regulations, and application forms adopted pursuant to those authorities. 3. Plaintiffs are prevailing parties under 42 U.S.C. 1988 and therefore entitled to reasonable attorney's fees and costs. And here's the structure of their costs. The people in number 4 will be covered by the state of New Jersey, who will pay to the plaintiff's counsel the amount of $18,500. We go down to number 5. Defendant Peter S. Cook Jr. in his official capacity as of Chief of Police of the Borough of Englishtown Police shall pay to the plaintiff's counsel the amount of $3,000, so he wasn't covered by the state. 6. Defendant William Wicker, the Chief of Oradell Police Department, has to pay the counsel from the plaintiffs the amount of $1,000, so ordered by Judge Georgette Kastner, United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. So it's a win regardless, but it was just still, basically was still a lawsuit that was on the books after Bruen, and they had to rectify it, and it's already been struck down because of Bruen. So they just did a handshake, you know, all right, yeah, we'll pay the attorney's fees. And the judge said, yep, you violated the 2nd and 14th Amendments and the laws requiring that, reasonable cause are unconstitutional. So good on Firearms Policy Coalition. Did take a while to get here. Even though Bruen was decided in 2022, we had to wait until 2024 for the judge to get to this. Maybe backlog. I don't know, but it's a win nonetheless. Let me know what you guys and gals think. I hope you have a phenomenal day. I'll see you on the next one here on Guns and Gadgets. And if you love the Second Amendment, hit that subscribe button down below. It's free, doesn't cost you a nickel, but it helps the channel break through this algorithm that has been ratcheted up since June 18th with the new rules. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.